Today, let's go over some of the affixes and blessings you'll find in the Temple of Nightmare. First up, the chosen affix can actually be shared with your teammates if you need to, especially if someone else in the group knows the dungeon better. In party chat, anyone can look things over or help the leader decide which affix to take. And you'll see the approach tip right here. It gives you a basic idea of how to handle each one. For example, take Revengeful Whisper. The approach says to avoid dying and switch targets in time. That's because if someone dies in here with this affix, a Revengeful Whisper spawns and will chase the rest of your team down to deal damage. Back to the list, so Revengeful Whisper is selected, and because this one is locked, it gives us 3 points. Combined with the Whisper, we've already hit the required affix total, so the game is good to start. But today, we're going to look at all the affixes. Next is Sandstorms. It's a buff that pops up and deals damage over time, but it's easy to avoid or just heal through if you have a healer on the team. Boss gaining damage reduction. You want to avoid this one as much as possible. It just makes the boss take longer to kill, and dragging out the fight inside here usually makes things messier. Lightning Domain. This one can be fine if your team is paying attention. You'll see the effect on the ground where you're standing. If you don't move out of it, you'll get paralyzed, which leaves you totally open to boss attacks. Next, Frozen Status. This effect is actually pretty manageable, especially if you have a bard. The damage you take over time is easy to heal through. Fire Domain. This one can be really bad, depending on who's doing the damage on your team. Short-range fighters like assassins, stalkers, or knights can die fast to this. It spawns right under the boss, so anyone close by takes huge damage. Only ranged players can really handle this affix comfortably. Bombring. Another effect that spawns on the map but is pretty easy to just step away from. And lastly in this sample is the one that boosts elemental damage for enemies. You see this has 2 checks stacked, so the effect is even stronger. I don't recommend this one at all. The harder the boss hits, the faster your team is going to wipe. Now let's check out the blessings. Summon Meteor. This gives you bonus damage from a meteor that triggers by chance when you attack. A great pick for magic users. Holy Fury. Extra damage happens every time a player gets healed near monsters. Support players will love this one. Thorny Armor. This is mainly for tank types. If they can actually hold the boss's attention, that is. Dynamite. Your attacks have a chance to cause an explosion. Solid for fast-hitting damage dealers. Consecutive Strike. Also a great one for attackers, and honestly, it's way better than Dynamite because it isn't based on luck. Hardened Skin gives you a shield for extra survival. I wouldn't recommend this one if your team is planning to just burst the boss down fast. Rejuvenation TreeRoot. Honestly, not great options compared to the other blessings available. Defensive Power, also not really recommended, since it only works under certain conditions. Alright, let's look at another example of affixes here. Vulnerable Debuff. Your hitters can get knocked down easily. The solution is having a resurrection skill ready, but remember, there's a limit to how many times you can revive per run. Increase boss damage. Big no. The boss is already strong. Making it hit harder just makes everything worse. Boosting boss resistance, Sandstorm, and Fire Domain. We already covered those. Poison Spore, with a healer. This effect is really no big deal. Frost Domain, same deal as Lightning Domain. As long as you're aware and move when it spawns, you're fine. Monster Explosion. This can be okay depending on the boss. Just be careful. Don't combine this with an affix that spawns skeleton summons. If you kill the skeletons, they explode on you. Enhancing Boss when spawned monster dies. This is a good pick for bosses that don't spawn many adds or none at all. And lastly, Silence Status. You must avoid this one if possible. If it does get selected, make sure you have Panacea ready to clear the effect. Let's see a few more. Less damage the farther hitters are. The solution is obvious, just get closer. This affix pairs really well with nullification of damage outside a ring, since both problems are solved by the same strategy, standing close. Spits a Curse. A healer can handle this one easily. Swirling Flame, a good affix to pick, very easy to manage. AOE for boss attack, not a good one to pick. This can wipe your whole team out in a second. Oh, and here's a quick bonus tip. Out of all the bosses in Ton, did you know only Sylph, the wind element boss, has no way to detect hide? Good to know for you sneaky types. That wraps it up for today. Thanks for sticking around, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Have you ever had a sleepless night trying to grind in your game, only for your computer to stop responding because of all the stress? Presenting UGPHONE, a cloud-based phone service that lets you play your game even when your computer is turned off. You can even run multiple cloud phones at the same time, whether you have multiple character accounts or different games grinding all together. The download link is in the description. Go to the website and use this code to get a big discount on your cloud phone.